刘培元的英文教室正确发音篇啊，从经典演说中练习正确的英文发音啊。那这一篇比较长，是海伦凯勒非常有名的啊，伟大女性啊。消弭战争分上下，这边是念下，我们只念不解释。如果意思你不懂，需要知道，你就去看我这个经典演说篇里面都有解释啊。欢迎小额赞助，请分别订阅我的15个 YouTube 频道啊。我们继续念。France says, fellow workmen, patriots, your country is in danger. There are foes on all sides of us. There's nothing between us and our enemies except the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. Look at what has happened to Belgium. Consider the fate of Serbia. Would you remember about the low wages in the country? Your very liberties are in jeopardy. What are the miseries you endured compared to the humiliation of having a victorious German army sail up the Easter River? Quit your winning. Get busy and prepare to defend your firesides and your flag. Get an army, get a navy, be ready to meet the invaders like the loyal-hearted freemen you are. Will the workers walk into the trap? Will they be fooled again? I'm afraid so. The people have always been amenable to oratory of this sort. The workers know they have no enemies except their masters. They know that the citizenship papers are no warrant for the safety of themselves or their wives and children. They know that honest sweat, persistent toil, and years of struggle bring them nothing worth holding on to, worth fighting for. Yet, deep down in their foolish hearts, they believe they have a country. O blind vanity of slaves! The clever ones up in the high places know how childish and silly the workers are. They know that if the government dress them up in khaki and give them a rifle and start them off with a brass band and waving banners, they will go forward to fight valiantly for their own enemies. They are taught that the brave men die for their country's honor. What a price to pay for an abstraction, the lives of millions of young men are the millions crippled and blinded for life. Existence made hideous for still more millions of human beings. The achievement and inheritance of generations swept away in a moment, and nobody better off for all the misery. This terrible sacrifice would be comprehensible if the thing you died for and you called country fed, clothes, housed and warned you, educate and cherish your children. I think the workers are the most unselfish of the children of men. They toil and live and die for other people's country, other people's sentiments, other people's liberties, and other people's happiness. The workers have no liberties of their own. They are not free when they are compelled to work 12 or 10 or 8 hours a day. They are not free when they are ill paid for their exhausting toil. They are not free when their children must labor in mines, mills, and factories or starve, and when their women may be driven by poverty to lives of shame. They are not free when they are clubbed and in prison because they go on strike for raise wages and for the elemental justice that is their right as human beings. We are not free unless the men who frame and execute the laws represent the interests and lives of the people and no other interest. The ballot does not make a free man out of a wage slave. There has never existed a truly free and democratic nation in the world. From time immemorial, men have followed with blind loyalty the strong man who had the power and money and of armies. Even while battlefields were piled high with their own dead, they have tilled the lands of the rulers and have been robbed of the fruits of their labor. They built palaces and pyramids, temples and cathedrals that held no real shrine of liberty. As civilization grown more complex, the workers have become more and more enslaved. Until today, they are little more than parts of the machines they operate. Daily, they face the dangers of railroad, bridge, skyscrapers, freighter train, stockhold, stockyard, lumber raft, and mine. Panting and straining at the docks, on the railroads and underground and on the seas, they move the traffic and they pass from land to land the precious commodities that make it possible for us to live. And what is their reward? A scanty wage, often poverty, rents, taxes, tributes, and war indemnities. The kind of preparedness the workers want is reorganization and reconstruction of their whole life, such as has never been attempted by statesmen or governments. The Germans found out years ago that they could not raise good soldiers in the slums, so they abolished the slums. They saw to it that all the people had at least a few of the essentials of civilization: decent lodging, clean streets, wholesome if scanty food, proper medical care, and proper safeguards for the workers in their occupations. This is only a small part of what should be done, but what wonders that one step forward toward the right sort of preparedness has brought for Germany. For 18 months, it has kept itself free from invasion by carrying on an extended war of conquest, and its armies are still pressing on with unabated vigor. It is your business to force this reform of the administration. Let there be no more talk about what the government can or cannot do. All the things have been done by all the belligerent nations in the hurly-burly of war. Every fundamental industry has been managed better by the governments than by private corporations. It is your duty to insist upon still more radical measures. It is your business to say that no child is employed in an industrial establishment or minor store, and that no worker is needlessly exposed to accident or disease. It is your business to make them give you clean cities, free from smoke, dirt, and congestion. It is your business to make them pay you a living wage. It's your business to see that this kind of preparedness is carried into every department of the nation until everyone has a chance to be well born, well nourished, rightly educated, intelligent, and serviceable to the country at all times. Strike against all ordinances and laws and institutions to continue the slaughter of peace and the butcheries of war. Strike against war, for without you no battles can be fought. Strike against manufacturing shrapnel and gas bombs and all other tools of murder. Strike against preparedness that means death and misery to millions of human beings. Be no dumb. Obedient slaves is an army of destruction. Be heroes in an army of construction. 这一集念到这里，希望对你的发音有帮助。